Hello guys, welcome to another exciting movie review. Have you ever watched a movie that made you question your sanity? The end credit rolls and you sit there in silence and genuinely wonder if you're crazy for not understanding what just happened, or if understanding it actually means you are crazy. In a world where most mainstream movies are designed to be consumed and forgotten faster than McDonald's Happy Meal, along comes a 3-hour psychological odyssey that feels like what would happen if Sigmund Freud, Kafka, and David Lynch got together and decided to make a movie after getting high on mushrooms. Welcome to Beau Is Afraid. And listen, if you saw the title and thought, oh, this sounds like something romantic with a bit of horror I can take my beau to and steal a couple kisses, I hate to break it to you, but the only thing you'll be kissing is your sanity. Goodbye. Beau in this movie has nothing to do with love. Rather, it's the name of the main character who is no damsel in distress, but a paranoid, anxiety-ridden mess of a man who spends 3 hours stumbling through the worst day of his life. Written and directed by Aster, the guy who traumatized audiences with Hereditary and Midsummer. This movie stars Joaquin Phoenix as Beau. Honestly, in hindsight, what else was I expecting from a collaboration between A24, Ari Aster, and Joaquin Phoenix, if not pure cinematic madness? So, what the hell is Beau Is Afraid actually about? Well, strap in, because trying to explain this plot is like trying to explain a conspiracy theory where your only source is the inner conviction of a voice in your head. The film, which is divided into chapters, each more unhinged than the last, follows Beau, who lives alone in a dystopian hellscape where society looks like it was designed by someone who watched too many World's Worst Cities documentaries. He's supposed to visit his overbearing mother, Mona, but misses his flight after a series of incredibly absurd and terrifying events. Oh, and when I say absurd, I mean he gets locked out of his apartment, his keys are stolen, his luggage disappears, a naked serial killer roams the streets, and an entire mob of deranged people breaks into his home, all before he even leaves the block. Then, just when things couldn't get worse, his mom dies. Beau embarks on the most bizarre, traumatic, and hilariously miserable journey imaginable to get to his mother's funeral. At this point, the movie becomes 3 hours of Ari Aster dunking on poor Beau. He gets hit by a truck. He wakes up in a stranger's house, where the family treats him like a prisoner. He stumbles into a surreal, dreamlike play in the woods that's somehow both beautiful and confusing as hell. He has a horrifying, borderline Oedipal encounter that leaves him even more traumatized. And then, because Ari Aster refuses to let this man breathe for even a second, we get to the third act, which is just pure chaos pro max. Beau finally reaches his childhood home, only to find out that his mom had faked her death as a manipulative test to see if he would truly leave his dependent, controlled life behind and venture out into the world on his own. And then, because why not, he accidentally kills her in the most ridiculous way possible. Gets put on trial, and then the movie just ends. No resolution, no catharsis, just credits rolling while you tell yourself and anyone who will care to know how you don't get it. So, was it brilliant or a total mess? Honestly, my answer is both. Joaquin Phoenix is phenomenal as Beau. He apparently has never met a role too weird or uncomfortable to take on. He throws himself into this performance with the same dedication he brought to Joker, which won him his first Academy Award. What makes Beau Is Afraid so frustrating yet fascinating is that beneath all the surrealist nonsense and psychological torture, there are genuinely brilliant moments. Aster's direction is impeccable, the cinematography is gorgeous, and there are scenes so unique and imaginative that they'll be living rent-free in your head for weeks afterward, whether you want them to or not. But holy hell does this movie test your patience! At nearly 3 hours long, watching Beau Is Afraid feels like you're in a nightmarish journey. There are moments where I found myself thinking, okay, surely this is gonna start making sense now, only to be hit with another layer of absurdity. The supporting cast, including Nathan Lane and Amy Ryan as the creepiest suburban couple since Get Out, they deliver performances that heighten the unsettling atmosphere. And let's not forget the bizarre animated sequence. Beautiful, unsettling, and also the moment I gave up trying too hard to figure things out. Bottom line, Beau Is Afraid is either a misunderstood masterpiece or the most pretentious film of 2023. I'm still confused, deciding more of which, and I suspect Ari Aster would be delighted by that confusion. Would I recommend it? That depends. If you love A24's brand of insanity like The Lighthouse, Men, or The Lobster, go for it. If you just wanted a chill, easy-to-follow thriller, run. Run far away. At the very least, it's an experience you won't forget, even if you're not entirely sure what you just watched. If you made it through this review, congratulations! Now do something even braver. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the world of cinema. Also, follow me on Instagram at Success Freedom Inspires. Bye for now.